It opened!
Now we can finally get through that door.
Here
Get
goes.
ready, everyone.
I'm tired of playing tag. Enough game. Ix, we're ending this now.
I feel reinvigorated.
Let's do a search. Well, well, if it isn't Yorda and the Fixers! Seems like you all really busted your asses getting here.
Ix!
I seriously can't believe I went through all that trouble to wreck the shit out of the Blacklight District just to make the cleanup harder for you. And then you go and drop it all on that immovable meathead and chase me anyway. Geezers and hags like you should really be more considerate.
I ain't the geezer, you little turd.
Hag? Who precisely might you be referring to by that?
Anyway, moving on from that.
It's been a while, but you've really just been doing whatever you want all over the place, huh?
Well, look at that. It's Angel Bro and the actress with the latex kink. It has been a while, hasn't it? Since Messeldom? That old fart really was a riot, wasn't he? He actually thought he could just up and leave the organization. Can you imagine? A guy who nuked an entire village on Almada's orders, thinking he could just go back to being a normal person? On second thought, he seemed pretty satisfied when he died. So I figure he must have pretty much given up on that fantasy of his. Even if he'd gone to jail like a good boy, I'm sure vengeful relatives of his victims would have made his family's life a living hell. Maybe they were hoping the slate would be wiped clean with his death. In that sense, I did them all a favor by putting a bullet in his...
Shut your mouth.
Bastard. You really are the worst kind of scum.
I only heard what happened. But how dare you play with people's lives like that?
You have no right to decide what he or the members of his family wished for.
How did you end up like this? It's true that we were born in the darkness. We weren't raised by our parents, but by members of the cult, growing up surrounded by their horrible words. Even after the cult was wiped out, we just ended up at the gardens, following that awful Melchior. It was no different. But even so, we had to kill all the time for our work, but we never treated it as a game, right? We both looked out for each other, so we could tell ourselves we were different from all those monsters. So how? How did you end up like this? Where and when did I lose you?
Yorda, there had to have been something that set you two on such different paths.
Who knows? And even if you're right, what makes you think I'd tell you wet blankets anything? And Yorda, that goes for you now, too.
Fair enough. Even if you are twins, you're still two completely different people. No one can perfectly understand someone else. So it's up to each of us to live our own lives the way we choose.
Van.
Oh? So the old geezer understands what I'm going through. What, gonna launch into your own sad backstory now? Yorda might have fallen for your let's be friends bullshit, but someone like you? You know you'd be better off alone. I'm right, aren't I?
Told you not to call me that, you brat! But, yeah, the lone wolf part of me does think that.
Hey,
Van?
See, the thing is, though, I've already graduated from being a snot-nosed little shit who only thinks about himself. Wasn't the exact same way as you, but in the past, I did everything I could to push people away from me. Hell, I did it again just last year. Though that was a last resort sort of deal.
But we came after you all the same.
As long as you realize now what a foolish decision that was, then I suppose it's fine.
Hey, come on, I learned my lesson. But see, what I'm hearing out of you now is... Oh, I can't change like Yorda. I'm broken. I could never go back to being a normal person. I'm right, aren't I? You were born in a crappy situation and raised with a bunch of emotional trauma? Join the freaking club, kid. You're more normal than you think. You pout, act out, mess up, end up hurting loved ones who are only worried about you. And know what that makes you? A regular friggin' teenager. So stop acting like you're some tragic figure, you lame-ass brat.
Wow.
Seems like you really hit the nail on the head.
if you put his bullet tricks aside, he really is just some annoying little 15-year-old punk, huh?
Yeah, a total edgelord loser.
Now, Miss Alfayed, we mustn't be rude.
Well, it's true enough that all that stuff is classic teenage boy material.
At this point, I'm actually starting to feel a little bad for him.
I figured you had some smart-ass answers, Spriggan. Never expected you to come at it from that angle, though.
Ix, please.
But if that lame-ass brat plays you for fools, then who's really the lame one?
Finally brought your friend out, huh?
Of course! Didn't you come here to learn more about this guy in the White Orbment? Beat us, and I'll give you a hint. But it's going to cost you your life, Arkride!
We won't let that happen. Ix, I'm going to fight with everything I have.
In a bind? Despair luck!
Sharp boost opportunity.
COC